The term shabby has been a bit of a puzzle for quite some time to me. People I respect who are either born or have close ties to Egypt seem to see it in completely different ways. And I was really confused. But recently I did a workshop with Daniela and she gave me a piece of the puzzle that made the whole thing fit together. And I think I know now how to explain it to you, because now I know a little bit better how it actually goes. Hi, I'm Kashmir, and in this video I want to share with you a light bulb moment with the term shabby. Now first of all, let's check the spelling as usual. And you'll see that I spell the word shabby with a backwards apostrophe. I use that for the ain, that's that funny looking thing there. Some people use a 3, that's considered informal. It's not part of the regular way of transliterating it, but you will see that, so you'll need to check that on the internet. And some people just ignore the ain completely and put in 2 A's, so you'll also see it spelled S-H-A-A-B-I. All means the same thing, well, more or less, shabby. So what does the word shabby mean? Shabby comes from the word shab, meaning people. So shabby means of the people, just like baladi means of my country, of my community. So the ya goes on the end and it makes it an adjective. Shabby. So what's the difference between shabby and baladi? Surely that means pretty much the same thing. Morocco, for instance, uses the term Raqs shabby to mean dance of the folk, i.e. folk dance. But this is a pretty unusual use of the term. When we did a shabby workshop with Denise Annan, what she gave us was basically folklore to a shabby song, which sort of thought, oh, well, maybe Morocco's right, but then other people like Caroline came, and when Caroline taught us shabby, she showed us more a street dance, very different. And being confused, and when we were doing a baladi workshop, I asked Lubna about shabby, and she went, oh, you know, shabby, we don't do shabby. Shabby is what drunk people do in parties. Oh, okay, right. So that actually hasn't helped an awful lot. Then Daniela came through, and she fitted in a piece of the puzzle that was missing. When you say baladi, it's generally positive. Yeah, it can be a bit of a down, an insult, sort of hick. But generally speaking, even the people who use it as hick are proud to be Egyptians. They're proud to be baladi. It's their country. A bint al balad is a very good person to be proud of if she's your daughter. But shabby has more negative baggage. Shabby is an insult always, even to the people who may be considered shabby. So it's always a put down. It's not a good thing to be. Okay. So whereas baladi is positive, shabby is negative. Okay, enough of that. What we're interested in as dancers is how this affects music and dance. What we think of as shabby music appeared in the 1970s, and it was an outgrowth of the baladi. So you have many of the baladi characteristics. You have a mawal, for instance, but the topics were different. So the shabby music of the 70s was very political, for instance. It was strongly political. It spoke about alienation in the city. It spoke about sex, not love, but sex. So it was powerful music, and it wasn't something you could go down to your local shop and buy. If you wanted it, they came on little cassettes. I got a couple in the 1990s. And you bought them from people who sold newspapers under the table, or possibly the taxi driver had a few that he could sell you. But they were definitely underground music. Now that was almost 50 years ago, and things have changed a bit. The music has evolved, and eventually it became almost mainstream, sort of almost banal pop. A lot of the political stuff is gone. A lot of the alienation is gone. It tends to be more boy meets girl. There might be a bit of sex in there, but not as powerful as it was, and you even get things apparently like nursery rhymes done as shabby songs. Keep winding forward, keep things changing, same name, and now we've got a completely different style of music. So after the 2011 revolution, as opposed to the 1952 one, a new style of shabby hit the mainstream, and that's known as festival shabby, electric shabby. Now let me get this right, Mahabharat shabby. And this is very, very different. It's got an awful lot of hip hop characteristics, a lot of electronics. So the mawala's gone, sampling is in. If you didn't know that, if it wasn't for the fact that the lyrics are actually in Egyptian, you could possibly think this was something from New York City. Very, very different. And it's got the same name, shabby, which is really confusing. So, dance follows music. Generally, but there's a twist with shabby. So if you're going to dance shabby as shabby, it is street dance. It's not performance dance. Women do dance it, but it's less common. And the sort of women who do dance it, probably not the sort of people you want to invite round to your parents' place. So the dance is very strong masculine energy. It includes everyday gestures, but some of the famous ones is the knife. This can be used either for fighting between people, or it can be used for suicide. So it's not a nice style of dance. And you get things like riding motorbikes, and again, that hip-hoppy sort of feel and flavour to it. Very fast, very energetic. So this is not performance dance. This is not something a belly dancer would do. Unless you happen to be a belly dancer who works in one of the clubs, and in the middle of your set, they bring on a shabby singer and you get shabby music and you're on stage. What do? At this point, the dancer is not the point. The singer is the star. The dancer is just eye candy. So what the dancer would do in this case is she'll just sort of, bop along a bit, maybe a little few wee gestures, very gentle, but basically keep out of the way. But of course, here in the West, we heard about this new music, we liked it. After all, it's been around for 50 years, and some of it is really catchy. And so we started nagging the Egyptian teachers to teach us the shabby stuff. A few people like Caroline, yeah, right, they gave us the real thing. But others were a little more cautious. So they did basically what Denise did. She found a non-offensive song. Now this is important. A lot of shabby music is not something you want actually to be playing at your gigs. She found an inoffensive song and she gave it a sort of modernised folkloric treatment. And it's fine. It's not really shabby dance, but it is dance to shabby music. Which brings us on to costume. Now, I think you're gathering that this is not a dance for bra and belt, unless you're that poor dancer at the club. Denise actually had us in fantasy folk, pantaloons and bras and jingly janglies, and we actually had bare bellies, not required. You can actually wear galabeo if you want, or you can go the whole hog and go into street clothes, jeans, t-shirts. It's that sort of dance. But you probably don't want to put it in your show. And if you do, let me say again, please get the lyrics checked by a fluent Egyptian speaker. The lyrics for shabby just won't cut it with a normal modern standard Arabic, and they can be really offensive, and you've got double and triple entendres on there. And sometimes they're just straight vulgar. So just be very careful about those lyrics. Hope that helps. Have you tried it? Do you like it? What's your favourite shabby singer? Do you have one? Again, down below.